Hey guys, Michael here from michaelsherlock.com. In this video, I'd like to give you my final review of the Alienware M15x personal gaming mobile laptop. The M15x retails for about $11.99 US. Of course, depending on your customization choices, the price will go up. Now, the model I reviewed actually retails for around $3,000 according to Dell, which is where I received the product from. So to start off with the specifications, this model is 1.92 inches high, 14.88 inches wide, 12.15 inches in terms of depthness, and weighs a whopping 9 pounds. Now, why is it so big? Well, it has a 15.6-inch 1920 by 1080 resolution WLED widescreen display, which is really crisp, really beautiful, and really does a great job reproducing images in games. On the monitor, there's a 2-megapixel webcam, which can be used as a facial recognition tool to log in. Upon training, this facial recognition software does a really good job, and for the most part, you'll be able to log in with just your face. And it also has a giant 9 or 6 cell battery. On the front, you have one of two speakers, a trackpad with 2 mouse buttons that work okay, a full-size keyboard that is backlit and does a sort of nice job but does flex under pressure, and your media controls. With that, you have eject, play, pause, reverse, fast forward, volume up, volume down, Wi-Fi, Alien FX lighting, and stealth mode. Unfortunately, one of the things I really didn't like about these media controls were they were very unresponsive and hard to use. These components, by the way, can be customized with the Alien FX lighting kit. On the left of the device, you have a memory card reader, a FireWire port, a USB port, an Ethernet port, a VGA port, your power cable connector, and a lock. On the right side, you have an express card slot, a slot-loading DVD drive, 2 audio out ports, an audio in port, 1 eSATA port. The specifications on this device are also pretty good. Again, this depends on what you buy, but the model I had a Core i7-920 at 2 GHz with a turbo mode that boosted it up to 3.33 GHz. 4 GB of RAM, an NVIDIA GeForce 260 mobile with 1 GB of memory. And this computer also runs Windows 7 Ultimate 64-bit. And just to give you a generalization of the speed, it scored a 5.9 in terms of the Windows Experience score. Now that lowest subscore was the hard drive. The processor, which is measured in calculations per minute, got a 7.3. The RAM, which is measured in memory operations per second, got a 7.4. Just graphics performance for Windows Aero, so general graphics, got a 6.8. And gaming graphics, which is 3D business and gaming graphic performance tests, got a 6.8 from Windows Experience score. So let's just start off with the pros and cons. First of all, this thing is extremely fast. This is one of the fastest notebooks I've ever used. You know what? Scratch that. This is one of the fastest computers I've ever used. This thing is quad core, has a nice graphics card, 4 GB of RAM, Windows 7 Ultimate. This thing flies. Now I don't need to break it down in terms of how many frames per second I got in this game and how many, was there any lag in this game, because that's not what a video review is. But I can tell you that all the games I tested, this thing was playable for every game I threw at it. There was no lag. The frames per second were perfectly good for playing. I also like the unique design. Alienware has always been on the forefront of design. I mean, look at their computers. They're based on aliens. So it's not a boring laptop at all. It's unique, it looks good, and it's something that nobody else is going to have in the regular world. Maybe if you were going to a LAN party, you'd see a lot of these, but if you're just taking this to somewhere, or it's in your house, or whatever the case may be, people aren't going to have it. It's not as common as maybe a MacBook or a regular Dell laptop, so you get that exclusivity factor. Another thing I really like, I did a video specifically on the lighting kit, but the Alien FX lighting system is really cool. You can really customize it to whatever way you want, and again, I'm just really impressed with it. It's a feature that no other laptop has from what I've tested. It's really fun to play around with, and you can make it the laptop you always wanted to have. However, there are a few things that I didn't like about it, namely the price. Again, for $11.99 if you got a bare bones model, it's not too bad, especially when you consider that this is a replacement for a full-scale gaming computer. But at $3,000 for the model I tested, that's really expensive. I don't think I could pay $3,000 for a laptop. So if you're a hardcore gamer, this isn't as big of an issue, but really it's not for the casual user. Also, even though the speakers are cool with their lighting kit embedded into them, they weren't that good. They weren't as loud and crisp as I expected. For both music playback, video playback, and gaming, it wasn't as immersive as I would have liked for a high-end laptop. Also, the trackpad is terrible. You definitely can't use this thing for anything longer than 10 minutes. You're gonna need a mouse for this. Clearly, if you're gaming, you'll have your own mouse, but it would have been nice to have a nice, usable multi-touch trackpad. Again, you're paying such a premium for this laptop, a lot for the design. You know, you'd think they could throw in a multi-touch trackpad that actually works. This laptop is truly a desktop replacement because of its size. This is a colossal laptop. It is not portable in the sense that you can throw it in a backpack. It is not portable in the sense that you want to carry it around, and it's not portable in the sense that you want to sit with it on your lap, because not only does it get hot and it could burn your legs, this thing is 9 pounds. It's heavy, and it is definitely not a portable machine. And finally, the battery life is terrible. This is one of the worst battery lives I've ever had on a laptop. It's just pitiful. Now I know, haters please, I know this thing is pumping out a lot of juice. Core i7, graphics card, all that. It's very powerful. I understand that. But the battery life is terrible. I got maybe an hour max, not even gaming, just casual browsing in one of my tests. So how can you say that this battery life is competent? Again, I know this is a desktop replacement, but if the battery life's only going to last an hour when you're browsing the web, that's not acceptable. Why even have a laptop if it's going to barely last an hour? Now, I'd just like to conclude by saying this laptop is excellent if price is not an issue for you. If you just want a portable system for gaming, if you're a gamer, you want something portable so you can bring it to LAN parties, but you're not really interested in using it in battery mode, this is excellent. This is one of the fastest laptops I've ever tested for just straight up calculations and browsing the web, and also for gaming. This thing matches up to the gaming rig that I built that also has a Core i7 and a GeForce 2600 graphics card. So this thing really flies. If money is not a factor for you, definitely pick up the Alienware M15x. It's unique and it's blistering fast, and if those are the two things you're looking for, then you're really going to be happy with this model. Otherwise, if you're just the average person and you don't want to drop 3 big ones on a laptop, you may want to look at a less expensive model, start at the $1199 model, or you may want to look at just a different lineup altogether. Because you can get a gaming computer that may not run as quick as this blistering fast machine, but for less. And of course, that's not an issue with this laptop. This is just a general recommendation for people buying laptops or desktops in general. If you're not a hardcore gamer, you don't need to spend $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 on a hardcore gaming machine. If you're just a casual gamer, just buy a regular computer and you'll be able to play the games just fine. So overall, just in summation, I really love the M15X. It has done everything I've thrown at it really well, and if cost is not an issue for you, I've said this again, then go ahead and check out the Alienware M15X. It is a great laptop, and I have to say, again, I'd like to thank Dell for this. This laptop is really wonderful, and I think once you get it in hand with a mouse and plugged in, then you won't have any problems with it, and you'll really love your purchase. Thanks for watching. What is the best laptop you've ever used? Just curious. And have a nice day, guys.